Mastering Your Mind, A Stoic Journey to Inner Peace and Purpose. The human mind, a universe contained within the confines of our skull, is arguably the most powerful instrument we possess. It shapes our perception of reality, dictates our actions, and ultimately determines the course of our lives. Ancient Stoic philosophers, recognizing this profound truth, placed paramount importance on mastering the mind as the cornerstone of a virtuous and fulfilling existence. This essay embarks on a journey through 15 essential Stoic lessons, meticulously crafted to empower you to take control of your mental landscape, cultivate inner peace, and live a life of purpose and integrity. We will delve deep into these principles, exploring their practical applications in the modern world, providing concrete examples, and offering original insights to illuminate the path towards mental mastery. 1. Use adversity as fuel, transforming obstacles into opportunities. The first Stoic lesson, Use Adversity as Fuel, presents a radical shift in perspective regarding the challenges we encounter in life. Instead of viewing hardships and failures as roadblocks to our happiness, Stoicism encourages us to embrace them as opportunities for growth, resilience, and self-discovery. This principle is rooted in the understanding that true strength is not the absence of adversity, but the ability to overcome it. Rather than succumbing to discouragement when faced with setbacks, we should strive to transform disadvantages into advantages. As Marcus Aurelius eloquently stated, the impediments to action advance action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This profound insight highlights the transformative power of reframing our perception of obstacles. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Instead of giving up in the face of repeated failures, he viewed each setback as a valuable learning experience, refining his approach and ultimately achieving his goal. His perseverance and unwavering belief in his ability to overcome adversity serve as an inspiring example of this Stoic principle. To effectively use adversity as fuel, it's essential to adopt a reflective mindset. After experiencing a setback, take the time to ask yourself constructive questions. What can I learn from this experience? How can I improve my approach? Where is there an opportunity for self-correction and growth? By actively seeking out the lessons embedded within our challenges, we can transform them into catalysts for positive change. This principle also applies to periods of peace and stability. Avoid complacency during peaceful times by recognizing the ever-present possibility of future challenges. Let this awareness motivate you to prepare for potential difficulties and to appreciate the blessings you currently enjoy. As Seneca wisely observed, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. By proactively training and planning for potential hardships, we can fortify our mental and emotional resilience. Imagine a professional athlete who, after suffering a serious injury, uses the recovery process as an opportunity to improve their strength, flexibility, and mental toughness. By focusing on the steps they can take to rehabilitate their body and mind, they emerge from the experience stronger and more resilient than before. 2. Pursue virtue, not pleasure, finding fulfillment in moral excellence. The second Stoic lesson, Pursue virtue, not pleasure, challenges the pervasive societal obsession with immediate gratification and encourages us to prioritize moral excellence as the foundation of a fulfilling life. While the pursuit of pleasure has its place in human experience, Stoicism argues that true and lasting happiness is found not in fleeting sensory experiences, but in the cultivation of virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. This principle requires us to be mindful of our actions and motivations, taking notice when we are acting solely to experience immediate gratification. While momentary enjoyment has its place, it should be an occasional indulgence, not the primary focus of our lives. Instead, we should devote our precious time and energy to worthwhile endeavors aligned with our highest values, such as creating beauty, helping others, learning, and connecting deeply with others. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. B1. This call to action emphasizes the importance of embodying virtue in our daily lives, rather than simply discussing its merits. Think of a doctor who dedicates their life to serving underserved communities, sacrificing personal wealth and comfort to provide essential healthcare to those in need. Their actions are driven by a commitment to justice and compassion, and their fulfillment comes from making a positive impact on the lives of others. To master our minds, we must subordinate superficial desires to our best selves, recognizing that true fulfillment comes from excelling at moral virtues. These virtues, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, require patience and hard work to develop, but the joy they bring is lasting. In contrast, quick fixes and fleeting pleasures inevitably fade, leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Imagine a student who chooses to dedicate their time to studying and learning, rather than indulging in instant gratification activities like social media or excessive partying. Their dedication to intellectual growth and self-improvement will ultimately lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. 3. Manage expectations, cultivating rational optimism. The third Stoic lesson, manage expectations, addresses the common source of suffering that arises from unrealistic or rigid expectations about life, ourselves, and others. Stoicism teaches that while we should strive for ambitious goals, we must also cultivate a flexible and adaptable mindset, accepting that life rarely unfolds exactly as we plan. Unrealistic expectations, such as demanding perfect health, success, or treatment by others, are a guaranteed recipe for disappointment. Challenges are an inevitable part of the human experience, and expecting otherwise is a form of fantasy. However, by anticipating bumps in the road, we can cultivate patience and resilience, enabling us to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with greater equanimity. This principle also applies to our expectations of ourselves and others. Progress happens slowly, in fits and starts. Be compassionate with flaws and missteps, both in yourself and in others. Let kindness temper standards as you grow. Imagine a parent who has unrealistic expectations for their child's academic performance. When the child inevitably struggles with a particular subject, the parent becomes frustrated and critical, creating unnecessary stress and tension in their relationship. By adopting a more balanced and compassionate approach, the parent can support their child's learning journey and foster a more positive and supportive environment. To effectively manage expectations, it's essential to cultivate rational optimism, maintaining a hopeful outlook while remaining grounded in reality. See setbacks as feedback, providing valuable insights that can help us adjust our approach and improve our chances of success in the future. 4. Separate externals from internals, mastering your inner world. The fourth Stoic lesson, separate externals from internals, highlights the fundamental distinction between what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and character, and what is outside our control, external events, the opinions of others, and material possessions. Stoicism teaches that true happiness and freedom come from focusing our energy on mastering our inner world, rather than chasing fickle and unstable external things. This principle is rooted in the understanding that our inner life exists apart from outer conditions. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. No one can force you to think or feel certain ways without your consent. You always have power over your mindset and character. Avoid placing your self-worth in unstable things like career status, appearance, fame, or wealth. These reside outside your control. But you determine your wisdom, integrity, and growth. No one can take these inner riches. Think of a successful executive who loses their job due to unforeseen economic circumstances. If their self-worth is primarily tied to their career status, they are likely to experience a deep sense of loss and despair. However, if their self-worth is grounded in their inner qualities, such as their resilience, integrity, and commitment to personal growth, they will be better equipped to navigate this challenging transition and find new opportunities. Serenity comes from mastering your inner world, not controlling fickle externals. As Epictetus said, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: some things are in your control, and some things are not. Make this key discernment repeatedly. 5. Overcome negative emotions, transforming servants into masters. The fifth Stoic lesson, Overcome Negative Emotions, addresses the challenge of managing destructive feelings such as anxiety, anger, and jealousy. Stoicism does not advocate for suppressing emotions or pretending to feel differently. Instead, it provides a framework for relating to even painful emotions with reason, perspective, and wisdom, transforming them from masters that control us into servants that inform and guide us. Notice when destructive feelings like anxiety, anger, or jealousy start arising. Pause before reacting, breathe deeply, and create mental space around the emotion to prevent getting swept away by it. Consider the emotion from an objective perspective, asking yourself if the intensity is justified or disproportionate. Think of a person who is prone to anger. When they feel their anger rising, they can pause, take a deep breath, and try to understand the underlying causes of their anger. By identifying the triggers and patterns associated with their anger, they can develop strategies for managing their emotional responses in a more constructive way. Focus on responding thoughtfully rather than just venting the raw emotion or following its irrational urges. Take constructive action aligned with your goals and values. With practice, you can freely feel even difficult emotions without following wherever they lead you. 6. Reframe problems, turning obstacles into stepping stones. The sixth Stoic lesson, Reframe Problems, builds upon the principle of using adversity as fuel by providing specific techniques for transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and improvement. It emphasizes the importance of shifting our perspective from dwelling on the problem itself to actively seeking solutions and learning from our experiences. When you encounter obstacles and setbacks, pause reactive frustration and instead ask yourself constructive questions. What can I learn from this? How might this actually benefit me in ways I don't yet see? What good could even come from this difficulty? Think of a person who loses their job. Instead of dwelling on the negative aspects of the situation, such as the loss of income and the uncertainty about the future, they can reframe the problem as an opportunity to explore new career paths, develop new skills, and pursue their passions. Adopting a solutions-oriented mindset builds confidence and resilience. You stay motivated knowing you possess the resourcefulness to handle whatever comes. Challenges become exciting opportunities to improve. 7. Limit your desires, finding contentment in simplicity. The seventh Stoic lesson, Limit Your Desires, addresses the insatiable nature of human wanting and encourages us to cultivate contentment by moderating our desires and focusing on what truly matters in life. It challenges the pervasive societal message that happiness can be found in the endless acquisition of material possessions, status, and stimulation. Wanting ever more leads to dissatisfaction, while intentional moderation of desires increases contentment. Aim to need little rather than have everything. Think of a person who is constantly striving to acquire the latest gadgets, designer clothes, and luxury experiences. They may experience moments of fleeting pleasure, but their happiness is ultimately dependent on external things, leaving them feeling perpetually dissatisfied and restless. The wise find riches in developing character and cherishing simple joys available to all. When desires for unnecessary things appear, pause and reflect on how they might bring access rather than fulfillment. 8. Flow with nature, embracing the natural order. The eighth Stoic lesson, Flow with Nature, encourages us to align our lives with the natural order of the universe, recognizing that attempting to fight against nature breeds distress, while flowing with it brings harmony and peace. This principle applies to both the external world and our inner selves. Attempting to fight nature breeds distress, while flowing with it brings harmony. Consider what contributes to your health, growth, and excellence, and align with human nature. Make these needs priorities over artificial pursuits. Think of a person who is constantly battling against their own aging process, resorting to extreme measures to maintain a youthful appearance. Their efforts are likely to be met with frustration and disappointment, as they are fighting against the inevitable flow of nature. Examine natural cycles like seasons, day and night, aging, and impermanence. Flow with these currents rather than resisting. Take time to rest and restore. Let go gracefully when your season passes. 9. Focus on character, cultivating inner excellence. The ninth Stoic lesson, focus on character, emphasizes the importance of cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation as the foundation of a meaningful and fulfilling life. It reminds us that our character matters more than our external reputation or acclaim. Cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation brings meaning and fulfillment. Your character matters more than external reputation or acclaim. Think of a person who is consistently honest, kind, and compassionate in their interactions with others, even when it is difficult or unpopular to do so. Their actions are guided by their inner values, and they find satisfaction in living a life of integrity. When facing choices, consider how your decision reflects on your character more than consequences for fame or status. Reputation is secondary to walking your talk. 10. Have an internal locus of control, embracing agency. The 10th Stoic lesson, have an internal locus of control, encourages us to adopt the perspective that we have agency over our outcomes through our choices and actions, rather than feeling like passive victims of external forces. The alternative, an external locus, feels like results stem from external forces, not self-determination. Reflect often on how your future depends on the thoughts and actions you take each day. Even amidst hardship, you have power to steer your inner ship mindfully. Think of a person who blames their failures on external circumstances, such as their upbringing, their education, or their lack of opportunities. By externalizing agency, they relinquish their power to change their lives and become trapped in a cycle of helplessness. Focus instead on what you can control, your habits, thoughts, actions. This also reduces anxiety since you can act on internal factors to direct your life wisely. 11. Contemplate mortality, embracing the gift of life. The 11th Stoic lesson, contemplate mortality, encourages us to regularly reflect on the fact that our lives are finite, recognizing that this awareness can provide essential perspective, tame anxiety, and inspire us to live more intentionally. Memento mori, remembering you will die, provides essential perspective to tame anxiety and live intentionally. Death puts all in proper light. Think of a person who is afraid of death and avoids thinking about it at all costs. Their fear may lead them to make choices that are driven by anxiety and a desire to cling to life, rather than by a sense of purpose and meaning. Postpone nothing meaningful. Imagine yourself at life's end so you can live presently with wisdom. 12. Practice resilience, building mental fortitude. The 12th Stoic lesson, practice resilience, encourages us to embrace difficulties as opportunities to build our mental and emotional fortitude, recognizing that just as muscles must regularly strain to grow stronger, our minds and emotions require resistance to develop resilience. Difficulties provide the resistance that builds our mental and emotional fortitude. Lean into productive hardship rather than avoiding it. Choose growth over comfort. Think of a person who avoids challenges and seeks out comfort at all costs. Their tendency to avoid difficult situations may leave them ill-equipped to cope with the inevitable hardships of life. Endure difficulties graciously. Let them strengthen your grit. Just as weights tear then strengthen muscle fibers, persist through setbacks with tenacity rather than giving up at the first sign of struggle. 13. Help others, finding purpose in service. The 13th Stoic lesson, help others, emphasizes the importance of service as a source of meaning and perspective, recognizing that by contributing to the well-being of others, we can transcend our petty concerns and connect with something larger than ourselves. Service provides meaning and perspective to overcome petty concerns. Look for ways your unique gifts and experiences equip you to contribute good works. Think of a person who is consumed by their own problems and struggles. Their self-absorption may prevent them from seeing the needs of others and from experiencing the joy of giving back. Regular service expands your spirit exponentially. The wise know their lives gain meaning not by hoarding joys but by giving them away. 14. Master yourself first, leading by example. The 14th Stoic lesson, master yourself first, emphasizes the importance of self-improvement as the foundation for influencing and inspiring others. It reminds us that we cannot effectively guide or criticize others until we have first mastered ourselves. Work diligently to improve your own habits and faults first. Lead by the example of your actions rather than empty criticism. Think of a person who is quick to criticize others but fails to hold themselves to the same standards. Their hypocrisy may undermine their credibility and diminish their ability to influence others. Does your own conduct inspire? Are you aligned with your advice? Lead first by walking your talk. 15. Live deliberately, reclaiming your sovereignty. The 15th and final Stoic lesson, live deliberately, encourages us to cultivate presence and make principle-based decisions, recognizing that by living consciously and intentionally, we can reclaim our sovereignty and create a life that is aligned with our highest values. Take time for presence and principle-based decisions. Pause frequently throughout the day to check in with yourself. How am I spending this hour? Is this aligned with my highest values or just inertia? Think of a person who lives their life on autopilot, reacting to external forces without conscious awareness or intention. Their lack of self-direction may leave them feeling unfulfilled and disconnected from their true selves. These 15 Stoic lessons, when embraced and integrated into our daily lives, offer a powerful framework for mastering our minds, cultivating inner peace, and living a life of purpose and integrity. Stoicism is not a passive philosophy, it is an active practice that requires ongoing effort, self-reflection, and a willingness to challenge our limiting beliefs and habits. It's a journey of continuous self-improvement, empowering us to navigate the inevitable challenges of life with resilience, equanimity, and unwavering resolve. By embracing these principles, we can transform our inner landscape and create a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling, leaving a positive impact on the world around us. Remember, mastering your mind is not about achieving perfection, it's about embracing the process of growth, learning from our mistakes, and striving to live in accordance with our highest values. The journey is the reward.